Hey, sister girls, it's your big sister, Abby Rodell, and this is Full Roster, your go to dating podcast for advice, hilarious stories, tough love, and a deep dive into the shit show that is the dating world. Welcome to Full Roster. Hello, sister girls. Good morning. I got up early this morning to film this. It is Wednesday. I got lots to do today for work, so I was afraid I would not be able to film it tonight and then have time to edit. So we're doing it this morning. I am giving up sleep to follow my dreams. So if you are here with me, thank you so much for your support. This is a milestone episode because this is my 10th episode. And the statistics say that about 60% of podcasts fail before they reach episode 10. And we're here. I'm so happy, so excited. I couldn't wait to hit episode 10. That was like my first big goal. The next big milestone is 20. 75% do not make it past episode 20. So that's my next milestone. Last week we talked about leaving a long-term relationship. This week we are going to talk about how to move on from any relationship. And honestly, sometimes the hardest relationships to move on from are like situationships where you are confused and they just kind of like stopped talking to you or said they weren't interested. So we're going to talk all about that in Sister Circle. Before we get into Sister Circle, though, we got to get into roster rundown. Jessica Alba has been in the headlines for being with two different men, Joe Burrow and Danny Ramirez. Good for her, man. So apparently she was seen in Vegas with Joe Burrow, and then she was on vacation with Danny Ramirez, who is her current boyfriend. So who knows if she's actually seeing Joe Burrow or not. I didn't see the photos. I just read about it online. They're saying that they were together. They could have just been together on a project or something, you know? Who knows? But I hope she is dating two hotties. Good for her. We're going to talk about one of my personal favorite couples, because I am a basketball girly. Asia Wilson and Bam Adebayo. Bam scored 83 points last night. It is the second highest in NBA history. He passed Kobe's 81 points. Very excited for him. Asia, that's my girl, man. I fucking love her. She's hilarious. I love the Aces because of her. And I never even knew Bam Adebayo before he dated Asia. So everyone's gonna come for me. All like the legit NBA fans are gonna come for me being like, how did you not know Bam? Blah, blah, blah. I just didn't know who he was. No one watches the Heat. I haven't watched the Heat since D-Wade. But I love those two together as a couple. They're so fun and funny. Hilarious. So anyway, I'm glad he's making history and I love seeing them freaking thrive. Like they are the dream team. A lot has been going on in Beverly Hills. This has been a really interesting season because, a couple things. Erica Jane told Denise Richards that she was in an abusive relationship. It seemed like that was the first time that she had publicly come out with that, which is insane. For it to happen to someone like Erica Jane, it can happen to anybody. Erica Jane, you see her on Real Housewives and you think that she is just strength, take no bullshit. And for, DV situation to happen to her, it can happen to anyone. And you don't know until you're in it, truly. So I just think that's a really good lesson in compassion to women who are going through something like that. It can literally happen to any of us. But in the Real Housewives, there's so much divorce going on, you guys. It's actually insane. I mean, I'm here for it. I want all these women to completely thrive. But Sutton Strack changed her last name back to her maiden name, which I think is Brown. Is it Brown? Obviously, Kyle and Mauricio have been going through their divorce since last season. PK and Dorit have been going through their divorce since last season. Rachel Zoe and Roger are getting a divorce. They like fully filed and are going through with the divorce. I think Maybe they've been separated for a while. I'm not sure on that 100%, but I think they are like officially filing their divorce. She's not on the Real Housewives, but Denise Richards, I mean, she kind of is. She was on the last episode, but her and Aaron, that whole thing with them, and they filed their divorce. I think that is definitely for the best for her to get the hell out of there. The last thing that we're going to talk about, and this goes with divorce and Bravo, is MJ from the Valley, Persian Style, is divorcing her husband. Thank God. I hated him, you guys. I didn't even look up his name because I just don't even care. Don't care what his name is. He pissed me off the entire show. He was so unsupportive. You could tell that they didn't like each other. Their interactions were awkward. She was begging him to support her and show up for her. Freaking begging him. He was belching on national television. Like everything about him just didn't like him. I know it's a TV show, so I'm sure they definitely made it look even worse than it was. But yeah, no, it worked on me. Don't like the guy. I'm glad she's leaving his ass. Until I have sponsorships, here's a quick plug, sisters. If you're all about fashion, fitness, and lifestyle inspo, head over to my LTK. I'm dropping my favorite looks, workout must-haves, and items I use on the daily. The best part about it is you can shop everything in one place. Follow me at Abby Rodell and get in on all of the looks I am serving. Welcome back, sisters. We are going to dive into Sister Circle. Breakups are messy, emotional, and sometimes the best thing that ever happened to you. So today we are talking about how to actually move on. To start us off, I've got 5 controversial, not controversial. I don't know. Some of these I think are controversial. Some of them I don't think they are. More common sense, but let's go. 5 controversial opinions to moving on. 1. Closure is overrated. You do not need closure. When you stick around for closure, you leave the door open for him to come back anytime he wants, and you're putting it under the guise of needing closure, okay? We don't need closure. Closure is moving on and knowing that that is not the right thing for you. I wish that I could have told myself that in my 20s, truly. 2, staying friends rarely works. 3, they almost always come back around. It does not mean that they have changed. Actually, they haven't changed, all right? Nobody changes that fast. Come on now. Social media makes breakups 10 times harder. I think that's common sense. And then the person who leaves isn't always the villain. And I also think that that's common sense. Obviously, sometimes relationships just fizzle out. The person that leaves, they're not always the villain, but there are always 2 sides to every story. Let's get into the listener submissions. First one. I was dating a guy. Everything was going well. I bought him and his kids Christmas gifts, which I currently have. He got cold, distant, and literally pulled away. I don't know what to do with these gifts. Should I regift them or just give them to him? Girl, regift those gifts. Sell them if you can. Send them back if you can. Obviously, we're not around Christmas anymore, so I doubt you can send it back. But yeah, regift that shit or try to sell them. Get your money back. Do not talk to him. Here is the second one. I am in need of some advice. I just had my heart shattered yesterday by the man I thought I was going to spend my life with. Any tips for dealing with the aftermath would be greatly appreciated. Oh, that's hard, man. That is really hard. I have personally never had this happen to me because the only person that I've ever fallen in love with that broke my heart was my narcissist ex. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell every single person who is going through a breakup or trying to move on is you need to get passionate about something. What are you passionate about? What are your hobbies? Whatever those are, you need to dive into that and really hone that. Try to monetize it if you can. If you can't monetize it, that's fine, but that's why you have to be passionate about it. I think it's not enough for it to just be a hobby. I think it has to be a passion, something that you love deeply, something that drives you and motivates you. I think you also need to sign up for like a weekly something. So Sign up for lessons, learn how to cook, learn how to play the piano, go take classes for something you're interested at the community college. Sign up for sand volleyball or pickleball if you're a sports girly. If you're not a sports girly, I'm sure they have like game nights somewhere. Go to one of those and meet new people. Start working out, work on yourself. I think there's a lot of things that you can do to help take up some of your time. Obviously, the hardest parts are at night. That's, when I've found myself missing people the most is at night. You're by yourself. Go stay with your family. Go stay with your friends. Make new friends. I would not advise going out and getting drunk and hammered all the time, even though, like, that's what I did in my 20s, went out and partied. But, being drunk sure gives you a pass for reaching out to your ex because it you can blame it on being drunk. So I would go no contact and I wouldn't go out and get hammered. If anything, maybe not drink as much if you don't want to reach out to him. Get passionate about something, start working on yourself. I'm looking for advice on moving on or how to make it easier. Backstory: my boyfriend and I were great, together every day, in love, or maybe it was just me. He told me how he'd never leave me and how much he loved me, how he wanted to move in with me one day and marry me. Every day it was like we couldn't live without each other. If we weren't together, we were on the phone, even at night. Last weekend, he texted me that he missed me, and then 2 hours later, I got a message that he thought we shouldn't be together anymore. Monday, he told me he was sorry for the way it had to end, but that he was going through a lot and was depending on me to be happy, and he could not continue to do that. Then he blocked me on everything. I am in so much pain, and I don't know how to do this. Ooh, this is tough. I think you're in a situation where you're being love bombed. That doesn't mean that your feelings aren't real. It just means his feelings aren't. At one point you say, he said he wanted to move in with me. This is giving me major hobosexual vibes. I'm getting the vibe that he found another place to stay, to move in somewhere, and he doesn't need you anymore. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a hobosexual is a man who, or I mean, I guess it could be a woman, but mostly men who don't have a place to live. They're a fucking bum and they're trying to find the next woman to move in with. And to move in with her, obviously, you have to love bomb the shit out of her, make her fall in love with them so that they can move in your house and then you'll never be able to get rid of them. This is what this guy is giving me. He was telling you he wanted to move in. He was big time love bombing you. I mean, you can tell by the way she's saying, we were together every day in love, and how he told me he'd never leave me, how much he loved me, he wanted to move in, marry me, all that shit. I bet you they weren't even together for more than 2 or 3 months, if I had to guess. Sister girl, you are not in the wrong here. We all fall for it. The love bombing, it's so easy to fall for, okay? I don't know if this is going to help, but this is what helped me move on from my narcissist ex, which is what this guy is giving me. He might not be a narcissist, but he certainly has toxic traits. I started telling myself that none of it was real. The love that he told me he had for me was not real because it wasn't. People like this do not have the capacity to love somebody except for themselves. That does not diminish your feelings for him. I'm sure they were very real. But it's much easier for him to move on. I mean, you can tell he doesn't give a shit because the way that he broke it off with you, telling you that he couldn't depend on you to be happy anymore, it's because he found another person to depend on, okay? He found another woman to move in with that moved him in faster than you did. I mean, that point blank period. I hate that you're going through this. I wish that I could take you under my arm and make it all feel better for you. Like, truly, I wish I could do that for every single woman. But you're going to have to wrap your head around the fact that he never actually loved you. He was just trying to move in with your ass. That's what I'm saying off of this. Obviously, I don't know the full situation, but those are the vibes I'm getting. Looking for advice. What helped you not reach back out? It's only been 2 weeks and I want to reach out. I know I shouldn't, but I still keep thinking about it and I don't have friends in this state, so it's a little harder. I started going out by myself, but I am still finding myself thinking about them multiple times a day. It is hard, girl. Get friends. Find friends. You need to make that your new goal, is finding friends. There's so many ways to find friends these days. Find whatever city you live in, find a girl group for the city you live in on Facebook and post in there that you're looking to make friends. Post your age, your hobbies, what stage of life that you're in. And I guarantee other girls your age in that phase of life with your hobbies are going to reach out to you and you guys are going to go do whatever the hell you want to do. Start there. Then what do you love to do? What are your hobbies? What are your passions? The way that I make friends is through sports, like volleyball. I met almost every single one of my friends in Omaha through volleyball. And if it wasn't volleyball, it was modeling. And then you branch out from there. Their friends becomes your friends. You know, you start meeting their friends, their families. Then you just branch out from there. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can put yourself in positions to make friends easier. That's what I think you need to start doing. When you say you're going out by yourself, does that mean you're going to a bar like in drinking? Because that to me is like the hardest. Like once I get drunk, it gives me an excuse to reach out to them because I can blame it on being drunk. So I would almost avoid doing that. Don't reach out. I know you want to. You know, worst case scenario, if you do reach out and they don't respond, then, you know, you'll reach out to them again 2 weeks later. Swear to God, that's what I would do in my 20s. I know it's so hard not to reach out, okay? We've all been there. I've been there. It's it's so hard. When you feel like you want to reach out to one of your friends and say, "Girl," or your family, text. They don't have to be here wherever you are. If you got long distance friendships, call them, text them, say, "Bitch, I want to reach out to so and so. Help me not talk shit about him." Think about all the terrible shit that happened in your relationship. Don't like romanticize it. The relationship is done. It was a lot worse than I thought. I have decided to go no contact and I don't know how. I have such a hard time blocking people and leaving. Send help. It is really hard. I'm assuming he like cheated on you or something since you're saying it was a lot worse than you thought. Going no contact is so hard. It really is because, like I said, you know, at the beginning of this segment, social media makes breakups 10 times harder. Truly, truly believe it does because you can see what your ex is up to and they're always up to good shit. It's not like they're posting bad stuff, you know? They're posting all the good fun stuff that they're doing. It makes you miss them even more. And it makes you romanticize the relationship. And when you go through a breakup, you cannot romanticize it. You have to remember all the bad shit. When I went through my relationship with my narcissist ex and broke it off and everything, every time I started romanticizing the relationship, which it's so easy to do with a narcissist, I would start writing down all the horrible shit that he did and all of the terrible shit that I learned about him. And I would just start writing it down. And partially because I wanted to remember that part, and that always brought me out of the funk of like missing the fun times. But two, I don't ever want to forget that he did that to me. Like, I don't ever want to forget that. I want to remember it for the rest of my life so that I don't put myself in that position again. So, journal, reach out to your friends. You have to block him, girl. I know it's hard. I know it's so hard, but you have to. If you want to go no contact, you got to block him. I mean, I'm proud of you for even wanting to do that and acknowledging that that's the best thing to do. I don't think that a lot of women even think about that when they do go through a breakup. So the fact that you're thinking of it, I think is a great step. You just have to do it. Hey, sisters, before we wrap up with our last segment, if you want even more behind the scenes, daily vibes, and want to get to know me on a more personal level, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Abby Rodell. That's ABBEYROEDEL. I share everything from fashion, fitness, and lifestyle to funny or frustrating personal moments. I'd love to see you there. Slide into my DMs and say hi. Welcome back, sisters. I hope you loved that sister segment. Moving on is so hard, man. It really is. And there's no right and wrong answers, there's no right and wrong things to do. You're probably going to relapse and reach back out. They're definitely going to come back around. Most men do. I'm not saying all, but most men do come back around and reach back out. Stay strong. Start, trying to love yourself and do things for yourself. Make yourself better. Pour everything you have into yourself, everything you can. We're going to get into inbox audacity. The first one is your name Harambe because I want you to drag me around in public? What? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Harambe. No. I don't, I would drag a man around. If he means like going shopping and shit, I don't really know what he means. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's uh that's an icebreaker, a funny icebreaker. I've never heard it before. Okay, here's the last one. These two matched on a dating site and they had like a couple back and forth interactions and then he sent her this. This is like word vomit, okay? Have you seen these shows and or movies? Tell me each one and if you liked it or not. 2002 version of Count of Monte Cristo, The Notebook, Meet Joe Black, The Goonies, Jaws, National Treasure movies, Indiana Jones movies, music and lyrics, 50 Shades of Grey, Spartacus series. Do you like going for walks? Have you ever been on a cruise out of Miami? Have you visited Miami? Do you fall for a guy easily or very standoffish? That was all one message to her. What the fuck? Unmatch. That's too much, brother. I got a full-time fucking job. And you want me to answer 50 fucking questions? Just leave it at the movies. And I wouldn't say, tell me each one and if you liked it or not. That's like weird. It's like you're bossing her around. You can talk about movies first. Bring up a couple of your favorite movies, okay? Say you're a big movie guy. These are my faves. Which one, just say which ones haven't you seen and leave it at that. I mean, first of all, I would not have responded. If I did respond, like if this woman wanted to respond to him, like if he has a lot more redeeming qualities, I would message him back and say, okay, we both have jobs. I love that you are asking me so many questions, but let's do like one question at a time because I don't have time to answer all of that. And I'm not going to lie, it's overwhelming me a little bit. And if he responds well, great. If he responds like a baby, like you hurt his feelings, that gives you all the answers you need. This is giving me like a cut and paste thing. Like he just asks, he's like, women want men to ask them questions, blah, 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 and then threw everything out in one message. And he's like, there, check, asked her every question I know. I have, I've unmatched men for less, and I've definitely unmatched men because the conversation got like way too lengthy. And I was getting paragraphs from men just on a dating app. And I ain't got time for that. All right. Let's match in person. You can ask me all those questions over a date that you planned. Okay. I'm not going to do it by texting. Hell nah. That is all for this week, sister girls. Thank you so, so much for tuning in. Like, I truly appreciate it. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate your time and supporting me. It really means a lot to me. Episode 10 is in the books, man. I'm very excited, proud of myself, and we're going to hit 20 in 10 weeks. As always, if you're loving the podcast, please subscribe to the channel that you're listening on, whether that be YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, leave a review. All of that stuff greatly supports what I'm doing, and it helps the platforms push my episodes out to more people. You can also find me on all socials at Full Roster Pod. If you want to go follow me there, that is also very supportive. A lot of women have been writing in with just a lot of general relationship questions. So I'm going to answer all those. It's going to be a mixed bag next week. So if you have any relationship questions, anything you're going through right now that you would love some advice on, hit me up. Let me know. Even if you have a relationship funny story, let me know. It's going to be such a mixed bag next week. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be a really fun episode. If you want to share something, like I said, you can find me on all socials at Full Roster Pod. I definitely check the DMs on Instagram the most. So DM me on Instagram, or if you want to email me, you can email me at fullrosterpod@gmail.com. Come back next week for more belly laughs and crazy dating stories. Until then, may your DMs be smooth and the red flags be so obvious. See ya. Thank you for listening to Full Roster. You can find me on all socials at Full Roster Pod, and you can watch the video on YouTube. Like and subscribe to support the show, and come back for the next episode. See you next week.